Hey, did you see there was a big unveiling in Kansas City?
Whoa.
It was called a giant payday for Patrick Mahomes.
Happy birthday.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome.
nice little deal for Patrick Mahomes there. The little restructuring going on with the Kansas City Chiefs. Ho-hum, he's just going to get, $210 million over the next 4 seasons, and it's fully guaranteed. Just something along those lines. But I thought, there's a bunch of people throwing out a bunch of numbers, so it's probably appropriate that we bring it to you the only way that this show knows how to do it, and the best of anybody on sports radio and television. May I present to thee.
And now for more on this, 2 pros and a cup of Joe, NFL contract analyst, Brady Quinn.
All right, I guess it's time for me to go analyze the restructured contract of Patrick Mahomes, which is partially a birthday gift, but also, just deserved. When the guy is the MVP of the league, wins a Super Bowl. Was it Super Bowl MVP? I think you get the triple crown there.
Yeah.
Mahomes will receive $210.6 million over the next 4 years. That's 2023 to 2026. It's actually the most money ever for a player over a 4-year span, very deservedly so. He can reportedly earn up to $218.6 million by the time his restructured agreement ends in 2026. So put it into this context, okay? We know about the initial deal that he signed. I think it was, 10 years, $503 million. That was initially what he signed. So think about this. He's almost getting half of it in a 4-year span.
Jesus.
To put in comparison, Deshaun Watson's deal was $230 million. It was fully guaranteed for, I believe, a 5-year deal. This happens in 4 years. So however you want to look at it, it's a lot of money in a short amount of time, and you got to love that. If you're Patrick Mahomes, his agent, or even any other quarterback out there who's looking at structuring a deal. So Patrick Mahomes cashing in with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Why'd they do it now, do you think?
Because they wanted to get it done probably at the beginning of the season, and it took a little longer than they thought. But look, he should be compensated as the top quarterback, top player in the league. He's earned that, and this contract reflects that now. Whereas it didn't, kind of as you watched other quarterbacks sign extensions, getting paid more money, and still Mahomes is sitting there under contract saying, "Hey, remember when I signed that 10-year deal? That $500 million, that full commitment to you. Well, now I'm like the 6th highest quarterback paid. Like, I should probably still be number 1 if I'm playing that way."
Do you think it had anything to do with why it took a little bit of time, or it cleared them to do it after they got Chris Jones finished up? Would there have been any type of relation there in terms of, or coincidence that it happened not too long after that got done?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not a coincidence. It's all
Okay.
obviously, related to one another, because we don't know the exact details as far as how they're structuring it, at least yet. We'll see that once the fine print comes out, but we'll see probably a fair amount of bonuses, signing bonuses, et cetera, that help create the cap space structure necessary for Chris Jones as well as Patrick Mahomes to fit. But the Jones deal is only a 1-year deal.
Right.
So, he's allowed himself the chance to go into free agency next year. This could be helping to create cap space for the future if Chris Jones wants to stay. I mean, clearly we saw his impact, coming back for week 2. He was phenomenal. Or it's just preparing to go into free agency and try to pick up some guys to replace him if they feel like they're not going to have a chance of retaining Chris Jones for the future.
Man, Patrick Mahomes already, and he's got obviously a long time to play, but already we're looking at like a top 5, top 10 quarterback all time. Credential-wise, started the career, and he's got, 8, 10 years of high-level football to go. And he's got,
hope. I mean, hope, right?
It's completely changed the course of how you view Andy Reid as a head coach historically, how you view the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, they're just consistently going to be looked at as a team that's going to be a Super Bowl contender for the next 10 years.
Let me ask this, and I'm not giving you much time to research it, all right? How much do you think he's earned over the 7 seasons that he's played in the NFL?
A shade.
130.
I'll say $70 million.
100. LaVar is closest, almost $120 million. And what's crazy about that to me is he didn't really play his first year. He's really done it in 6 years of playing. Because remember, he only played the Week 17 game in his rookie year, and that was it. And then they just made the decision to switch. And he was MVP of the league in his first year starting. And all he knows is AFC Championship games and Super Bowls. So.
I still remember when they made the decision to move on from Alex Smith, and people were like, man, this is a pretty bold decision. They were a playoff team. Alex Smith was playing good football. They traded him to Washington. You're gonna turn the keys over to this Patrick Mahomes guy, and he goes out the first week against the Chargers and lights them up. And it was, I think, was that the year he threw 50 touchdowns or something
50
like that?
touchdowns. You know what it is, too? Man. Like, that's the case study for quarterback wins is not a stat. Because everyone's like, well, I don't know this guy. He wasn't a winner at Texas Tech. You know, he's at Texas. He wasn't a winner. Talented guy, wasn't a winner. You know, you can't take that guy. I don't know, man. He's a pretty good winner now, isn't he?
And also,
it's like you can put a player in a terrible situation and circumstance, and he's gonna have a hard time being able to win games. It's why I repeatedly say that is like we always give quarterbacks too much praise, too much blame. We always overrate their impact on the game. Like, we just do. This isn't basketball where you could be a two-way player and you're on the court the entire time. And it's much easier to isolate you and get you those one-on-one opportunities or put you in a position to really take over a game. It's football. Like, you're out there for a third of the snaps. And there's a lot of stuff that plays a role into it. But, look, he's been phenomenal since he's first started playing. It's a very deserved contract restructure. And I think the one thing with the loyalty he showed to the Chiefs out the gate for a 10-year deal where he really didn't need to, and it's the only unique deal like that you're going to see, was this. Like, the team had to own up to restructuring his deal every so often to make sure he's still happy. And this is one of those examples.
If I were Andy Reid, I'm not going anywhere. Like, there's all this talk about him retiring. There was talk after this last Super Bowl. Hey, could this be it? Maybe he'll come back for one more. Why the hell would you leave if you've got this guy in the prime of his career?
Well, there's a lot of talk right now about, well, hey, the Chiefs are 1-1. The offense doesn't look that great without Eric Bieniemy. I'm just saying, man. Like, maybe it was all Eric Bieniemy. Well, it wasn't Andy Reid. a lot of talk about there. Like two games into the season.
Lose Tyreek Hill. What a Super Bowl. No problem whatsoever.
I mean, he still threw for over 300 yards, though. I mean, and in the last game, I believe. But they just played Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
Well, and Kelsey came back, which obviously
helped. And Kelsey wasn't in the first game, right? Yeah. I wouldn't panic on it. You know, I don't know why I panicked on him the year before. I felt like he wasn't. I just remember I didn't feel like he was protecting the ball.
You said they needed to trade him, if I recall correctly.
I didn't say that at all.
Yeah, he didn't say. Don't do that.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I just didn't feel like he was protecting the ball as well. And I know we went over the stats, but then I gave it like further thought. Sometimes it doesn't show in the stats. Like turnovers are turnovers, but protecting the ball can show itself in different manners, like careless passes, like or maybe not careless, but way too risky. You know, I just felt differently this year. I look at what they're doing, and it's kind of like it's a slow build. You know, you see Pacheco is starting to assert himself and become a larger part of that offense, and I think that they're going to be fine.
Sky Moore, baby.
I think they're going to be fine. I don't know what capacity or what degree that is for Mahomes, but he's going to be the catalyst. I mean, and again, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. They did, you know, to me, what they needed to do to win against a team that I think we're all high on in terms of with Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
their defense looks good. Their defense
they
looks
look
good.
pretty damn good. I wouldn't panic about KC.
No, there's no panic.
Or Patrick Mahomes.
It was just more of the comparison because Bieniemy's not there now.
Yeah.
Bullish.
I mean,
look at Washington. It's like, okay, this might not
They're undefeated right now.
By the way,
they are 2-0.
Yeah, they're 2-0.
By the way, where did you this new voice you've got?
I've got a lot of voices.
I'm impressed. This one's good. It's almost like you're pinching your nose and talking football. Like it's very.
I don't do that.
Baby talk. That's baby talk, man. Like he's in baby dad mode.
No,
like,
it's the people who are like, oh, I'm scared to say it out loud, but my God, I mean, the Washington Commandos, Eric Bieniemy, my God, they played so well right now. It's like they don't want to like be like just let it all hang out and just be like, hey man, I think the Commanders are better with Eric Bieniemy than the Kansas City Chiefs are right now. Popular opinion? No, you guys don't like that?
No.
Oh no, don't say that out loud. No,
you don't have Patrick Mahomes.
Dear God, don't say that out loud. It's 2 games into the season.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's just like different.
Damn.
It's like the water cooler talk. Yeah, that's what you get. You go in the office.
I almost said something that got me dumped 2 segments in a row.
By the way, do places still have water coolers?
I've also figured out why LaVar was out on Mahomes last year's. You just sometimes try to be a contrarian to Jonas and I. Like we'll say something.
To be a contrarian to you guys. Yeah, I do.
Because I was gonna say, we'll say something, you'll be like, no. And we're like, well, why, LaVar? You'll be like, I don't know, but no. It's just my opinion, and I don't like you and Jonas.
Yeah.
I like gut feelings. I like gut feeling. Like you said, I don't like facts. It's like I like gut feelings. If my gut tells me
you don't
that
ever
it's
think
good,
that's like maybe you had a bad enchilada or something, and maybe that's impacting your gut feeling.
It's possible, but I'm going to base what I'm feeling with my gut off of all given factors.